I am sorry to the roommates that are here, and to your ears. It's going to get loud. Pachinko!
Finally, my number one suspect, Marshall P. Pope, the screenwriter, played by Pachinko's Jin Ha. Why would you hire someone from Pachinko and not have them be the murderer? It's really hard to break into the Hollywood scene. So I think that Marshall didn't actually write the script of this movie. I think Marshall might have tried, but couldn't really quite get the characters right. But you know who could? I think Sazz might have actually been the original script writer. It just seems logical for this murder mystery to go down this route if they're going down this Hollywood route. Mark my words! Keep an eye on Marshall, the script writer. I do think we are staring right at him. Marshall P. Pope, I am onto you. That excerpt is from my episode 1 theory video, and you can check that out on your own time because I have a lot more to say about the Marshall P. Pope theory that ended up being exactly correct. And so you can check that out. That starts at 17:55. But I just have one word to say: vindication.
Vindication!
Oh, my little filmer dudes on my super sleuths. we did it, I think. We did it. Spoiler warning, obviously, for the entirety of this show. Call me biased, but that might have been my favorite episode to date. Not just because I was just right, just fully correct. What, the best 2 minutes of my life on that final episode, man. But because the writing is just phenomenal. It was so good. But y'all, my little filmer dudes on my super sleuths, we did it. Just like Agatha, it was Marshall all along. And I was even correct on the stolen script theory. To feel the joy, just in general, to feel joy in general is one thing, but to feel the joy that I did and to spend that time with Mike was just, I unlocked a core memory. Marshall did it. Marshall stole Zazz's script, and Marshall is disguising himself because he got himself blacklisted under a different name, Rex Bailey. And this might be a little pretentious, but I will claim first and full credit for this. I mean, let's look at the proof. The proof is in the pudding, which I forgot to say this whole time. The proof is in the pudding. My filmer dudes, for myself, I was one of the first, if not the first, to suspect Marshall and why, his motivation. A lot of other people suspected Marshall just because that's what you do in a murder mystery, but I don't like to just throw out theories willy-nilly without having some basis to it. And as you have seen, I always have some basis, some logic to it. Weekly, I have done my research, I've done my due diligence. I have read a lot of Reddit? Is that what did it? Reddit? What I reddited? I reddited a lot of theories. Watched a lot of videos, and nobody guessed Marshall because of a stolen script. The stolen scripts theory started well after, and I am one of the ones who put it out there into the YouTube sphere, into the internet sphere. So look at me now! I am the winner now! I am Detecticus Prime. How many references can I ruin in one go? Let's find out. It makes full sense now. I'll give it to everybody who argued against the stolen script theory initially, because the issue with that theory, which was brought to my attention, was that there was really no indication that Sazz could have been a writer up until this point. And that's true, there really isn't any indication. However, I think the fix to that is a trade in trades. Sazz offered to teach Marshall stunting, and Marshall likely offered to teach Sazz writing because Sazz wanted to write a story worthy of telling. And that story was one of her best friends, Charles, and only murders in the building. That's beautiful. However, Marshall, being the bastard that he is, likely stole her script, saying that it was better than hers. I really don't know how yet. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how it's all gonna connect, but it's there. He stole her script. And not just that, there's way more to this Project Ronkonkoma story than meets the eye. For one, we only saw, quote unquote, what happened through Ron's perspective. The worst thing that happened on set were his eyebrows getting singed off. However, Sazz's reaction, that seemed like a bit much, didn't it? And if you watch both perspectives clearly and listen to the timing of Ron's gee whiz and Marshall's or Rex Bailey's screams and watch the backgrounds in all of these scenes, you will see that there's more to this story. Likely Marshall Rex went off in flames and they had to go extinguish more things, but I wonder if there's more, like even more. Oh, Marshall, what did you do? Plus Marshall Rex stole Ron's shoes. Why? Crime of passion, my filmer dudes. I think this is just confirmation that Marshall is a passionate guy. He just does things. I mean, we saw him. He did not wait to be extinguished completely. So, driven by passion and revenge after being blackballed, he likely thought, you know what, sir? You're gonna take something from me, I'm gonna take something from you, your shoes. Which taking someone's shoes is a little diabolical, but it's a revenge I can respect. Needless to say, there's more to the Project Ronkonkoma story than meets the eye, but I just love that the name Ron was in the title the entire time. So then what's with that news report in the hospital? That was a little weird. I kept going back to it and looking at it, and I could not make the most sense out of it until it suddenly dawned on me. The Caputo crime family. The Caputo crime family, I don't think is connected to Marshall, but I do think that they are connected to the Westies. Specifically, the Sazz family. Listen, I don't believe the Westies at all in their story. Like I said, I believed Helga, but I didn't believe the Westies. I took that out of my video last week because I didn't want to seem like that guy. But trust me, I don't think the Westies are clear of this crime. Where the frick am I? Here it is, okay. Their story, albeit sweet, felt a little too convenient. Hear me out. Names. No, I am not going to unscramble Yeah, I am. The answer is nothing. But Caputo is a real Italian name, and it actually is a brand of flour. I'm just saying, flour is a baking thing where sauce is a cooking thing. And I thought it was very weird, the fact that everybody else had a last name. Vince Fish, Rudy Thurber, Sazz Pataki. But the Sazz family, Inez, Alfonso, and Anna never got last names, which is why it was really hard for me to remember their actual names. It's honestly why I kept calling him Daddy Sauce. It's not to be funny, it's because I couldn't actually remember his name. Alfonso is Daddy Sauce. And look, I checked IMDb, and look at what I found! Even Nina Lynn got a last name, but the Sazz family, like I said, they are omitted. They don't have a last name here, and why? They've been a huge part of this investigation all season, so why don't they specifically have a last name, and why are they also specifically Italian? I'll tell you why. These are the Caputo crime family. Wild theory time without it being wild theory time. But seriously though, once more, their story suddenly clearing them from Dudenoff just seemed so odd. I mean, all's well that ends well if it's golden rule of the Fast and the Furious. Family means Ohana. E.T. phone home. I guarantee you the Westies killed Dudenoff and are covering it up beautifully. Then that still begs the question, who the frick shot Sazz Pataki? Well, I'm gonna sound like a broken record here and say that it was Rudy. Why? Because I've exhausted any other idea and I'm exhausted. I'm just gonna stick to this to the very end, and if I'm wrong here, then that's fine. I at least got Marshall and a stolen script under my belt. That's my crown and I'm gonna wear it forever. But I do believe that the brother-sister short film was a hint from the writers, and that love might be the motivation for this season. After all, Marshall Rex did do the crime out of a passion for the arts, so Rudy doing this crime out of the passion for love? I think yes, bitch. However, I just can't shake the fact that Marshall has insanely rare vision. I did my research. Less than 1%, man, less than 1%. And Marshall has it, how can he not be a sniper? Marshall shot Sazz. Rudy got rid of the body in the only way that he knew how, which was the incinerator. And that brings us to here. And I also want to point out that I said from the beginning that Charles' sister is also on the top of my suspect list until she's proven not guilty, and I still don't think she was proven not guilty. But after her episode, I was just convinced confused because there was a lot of loose ends from this episode. It's my least favorite episode, honestly, because it doesn't help anything at all, in my opinion, the overall story. And I said if she doesn't come back at the end of the episode, then it would have been a waste. But I do think she's gonna come back because there's just no way. There's no way. Narratively, it makes no sense. She has to come back at the end of the season, but as a what? The victim? Or the killer? But look at what I found, my Filmer Dudes IMDb columns in clutch again. Melissa McCarthy is credited for 2 episodes, whereas her husband is credited as only 1. Why did her husband narrate the episode? I don't know, but could Doreen be the actual victim? Or could she be like the ringleader of the Caputo crime family? I don't know. Don't know, but she's gotta be connected in some way. Could the tinsel be somehow connected to her? I don't know. What of the tinsel? What of the tinsel? I think that tinsel is plastic from packaging, but that's just what I think. Now, before I go, I just wanted to say that I've been having such a blast watching OMITB and making videos with y'all, and oh my gosh, the OMITB community is so smart. Y'all are intelligent, and I'm so glad I get to be part of uncovering mysteries, uncovering theories, getting to discuss with you guys in the comments and in my DMs on Instagram on who we think the murderer is. One person I want to point out is my friend Blake from Nerds at Night. He is also doing weekly OMITB coverage, and if you like watching all of these OMITB videos, you should totally watch his. He has more of a discussion type, and then he makes it interactive by including the comments, and it's really nice. It's really fun. I enjoy it, and he and I actually have a collab planned. It's gonna be in 2 weeks, so the week of November 6th. I'm gonna have more information to tell you guys next week, but we're gonna go over comments. We're probably gonna discuss the season overall, maybe theorize for season 5, and it's gonna be a phenomenal time. I'll remind you guys again next week, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up so that you are at least aware of it. With that being said, that is it. I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. Let me know what your thoughts are. What are your final theories for this season? I must know. My social media links are in the description below, and I will see you next time. So close. One more episode. Are we going to be correct? I don't know, but you've just been Montified.